But in the meantime,
Cursed Hollow again. It's a very popular map. Haunted Mines was taken out, unfortunately, and not much more needs to be said about that. Cursed Hollow, we've seen it before. We've seen it again. We'll see it once more here. It's a popular map. It's big. It's got lots of potential for lots of team engagements with all the tribute spawning, and it's got the bosses. And I think it's a really, really strong map for Lieutenant Morales, and hopefully we might get to see a medevac play come out of her if she's picked up.
Maybe, but we're not going to see Zagara on this map, as Storm Whales have decided they have had enough of playing against her. She's going to go into the sin bin and be banned out here. I don't know, man. Going to take that Uther, as we discussed earlier. Uther, really strong right now. And, just good to take out the pool nice and early.
Yeah, definitely so. Uther can be banned out there as well, but I don't know, man. Very typical. I mean, as you explained earlier to the question in chat, people asking why they don't know about the Uther ban. He's so versatile, he fits in with any composition, and he even makes other compositions, so taking him out is very atypical.
Yeah, cool. And we're just waiting on this first pickup. They're dipping deep into this this pool.
Yeah, the reserve time. Potentially going to see a tank come out, and we do get Leoric. So
once again, as you say it appears.
I don't know, man. Might end up picking the Johanna, and I was going to say potentially pick up an early support in order to ban them out, but they go with the Kael'thas and, like I say, the Johanna. Very typical. We're going to get these two main tanks of the last patch come out again. Now, I say of the last patch because they have had changes. I think that whilst their popularity will remain pretty high, we may, or at least we'll hopefully see, a much wider diversity in warriors picked up in the professional scene, as far as Diablo, Stitches, etc. all have receiving changes that makes them a lot more viable.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some of these pro games where they do start to pick up something else and influence the meta down here. Not so much many
prediction. What's the next pick?
So we've got a Reyna locked in from with the Leoric. I'm predicting a support of some kind. Maybe a Tassadar if they do decide they want to play that Morales. But most likely something like a Rhaegar just before we do go to the next ban phase. And we see a Malfurion.
I was going to say Malfurion before, but you wouldn't. Oh no, my prediction. I feel like I look like a charlatan at this point. I was going to say Malfurion. I think that Storm Whales are going to want a bit more sustain in this. I feel like they want to take big late game engagements instead of focusing on the early game where they have been losing some of like that last game. They didn't lose the early game, but they weren't at an advantage. So I think that they're gonna, with the Reyna being picked up, go for Season Marksman, go for that late game and really kind of steer towards that. So they're not going to worry about not having an advantage in the early game. They're just going to try not to give their opponents an advantage. And this way, in the late game, their composition should hold up a bit.
I don't know, man, taking the Zeratul out. We have talked about the Zeratul nerfs that have happened, but he's still very strong and very versatile, bringing that Void Prison to the fight.
If Storm Whales don't ban out Rhaegar, I would be surprised. Another good ban would be the Karazhan, but they're going to take Jaina out. Interesting.
Yeah, so
I suppose, I don't know, man, do already have the Kael'thas, and they get the next two picks. So denying the double mage it's quite smart, I think, actually.
Yeah, probably a good choice there. Does leave the support pool completely open, and I don't know, man, have the double pick right now. So we see the Tyrande locked in, and we'll probably see a second support coming in with the Tyrande.
Yeah, almost certainly so. Tyrande's not the strongest solo support, even with her changes to Shadowstalk. Or Shadowwalk, whatever it's called, I've forgotten now. Yay, knowledge. But we're going to get a
Sonya pickup.
I think this leads Lieutenant Morales. I think Morales is going to come out for, I don't know, man.
A Tyrande and a Johanna, a Kael'thas and a Sonya. It could be. It could definitely be. I mean, a Tassadar still would fit quite strong in there.
What, the double minor support then?
Yeah, the double minor support could still work. I mean, they're still going to bring a lot to the table, even if they are considered sort of off supports.
Yeah, well, I think either Morales or Rhaegar, for the fact that you keep the Sonya alive, or you bring her from 0 to full, effectively, and she's gonna have a whale of a time. Against this Malfurion.
Against
hopefully.
the Storm Whales.
Yeah. See what I did there?
You
I was
did.
up all night writing that one. That's why I'm tired.
You just got lucky.
Meanwhile, Storm Whales, they're looking for their next range assassin and potentially going to pick up something to deal with the Sonya, something with lockdown, I'd imagine. So, Zebo not necessarily what I had in mind for them, but I think they do need more damage. I think if they get enough burst to deal with the Sonya, and I'd like to see a Nova at this point here. I think that would work out really well in their composition. Now, Sonya and Tyrande and Kael'thas all very good for dealing with the Nova, but if you put a Nova into this composition, you deal with them, respectively, just as well.
Okay.
It would be unusual, but I think for kind of like a pocket last pick, I think it could work out very well.
I wouldn't trust anyone else with that, but I might trust you. But they're going to take Tyrael instead. So a second warrior coming out there, able... Gone.
Filling out a much safer but similar role to what I was hoping would come out from a Nova, which is just blowing somebody up. They target somebody down with a Judgment, or we might even see Sanctification, but more likely Judgment.
Yeah, the manoeuvrability that an Eldrin's Ruin brings to the team as well. Karazim locked in there for I don't know, man. So neither the second sports we thought it would be. Instead, they're going to have a Karazim. Yeah. So we're going to have the dive buddies, Johanna, Sonya, and Karazim.
I did say Karazim or Rhaegar as a result of the Divine Palm or the Ancestral Healing, just bringing that Sonya, stopping her from dying. No, that's fine.
I'll give this one over to you. But we do have the dive buddies there, Karazim, Sonya and Johanna, able to keep their Tyrande and Kael'thas alive, who'll be sitting at the back and just trying to deal out what damage they can.
Just 3 decent melees up there. So, gonna wait for the lobby to get started by somebody. I might start this actually, Cursed Hollow. I've invited them to a party instead of to the game. That's what I meant to do. And who is the other team that I'm inviting into this? Who's the other team?
Storm Whales. Storm Whales.
Who is on their team that I have on my friends list? That is the High Pathan. So Storm Whales versus I don't know, man. Is it? Yeah, it is.
It is okay, Storm Whales versus I don't know, man.
Okay, perfect. I'm just making sure I've got. So I'm gonna make me an observer. Make you an observer. Put us both to refs. We have... Let me update this. And I'm going to put Yonks on there. Storm Whales there. And let's make sure that I get the right people on the right team. There. And yeah. So, purely based on draft, who do you think's got the better draft? Who do you think's stronger? Who do you think will win?
I think that I don't know, man, have the stronger draft. The Karazim able to do work with that Divine Palm. The Sonya, the quality of life changes. She's going to put out a front line. You lost me?
I lost you for a moment there, yeah.
You lost me, I know. You found me again, though, so that's okay.
I got you again. You said the Divine Palm keeping the Sonya alive, and then you cut out. You said quality of life.
Yeah. Quality of life buff to Sonya, meaning she's going to be able to put out a lot of damage with those seismic slams and the auto attacks. For somebody who's reasonably tanky on the front line as well. Johanna, that big body that's going to get in the way. She's going to bring a blind to the late game that's going to stop the Reyna being able to put down so much damage. Tyrande healing up with that Shadow Stalk, but also her potential damage from either Owl or from the Marksman, depending which way she chooses to go with this. And Kael'thas, we know what he's like after 13. One of the strongest mages in the game there. So I don't know, man. Definitely have a very, very strong comp here. This isn't to say no, Storm Whales is weak, but it's the one I think that's stronger.
Yeah, I think I'm inclined to agree with you there. With I don't know, man, being a slightly stronger draft. I think I just like the way it looks more. Now, Storm Whales, they do have that Tyrael information. And if they get it on either the Tyrande or the Kael'thas, it could be a very different fight. But, I don't know. I don't know, man.
I see what you did there. The Nazebo might be able to catch something, one of the Tyrande or the Kael'thas out with his zombie wall, especially in the early game when they're not able to clear that up particularly quickly. and able to put a lot of damage down on them. Malfurion's going to be keeping people alive. Reyna's going to have his adrenaline rush, so even if he does get caught, he's going to have that burst heal up, and he's going to be able to sustain through a lot of lanes. And we know Leoric gets a lot of health regen as the game goes on. So they're not an easy team to take down at all, and they're able to do a lot of work with what they've got. And we'll see how it plays out. I mean, from what we've seen these teams play, I would probably guess Storm Wales is the very slightly stronger team here. But we'll see how it actually comes down to when they're out on the battlefield.
Yes, definitely. So hopefully we're just waiting for one player to ready up, and we will get this game going. We'll bring us into the tournament scene now. Storm Wales versus I Don't Know Man. We're no longer round 3. We're around, I think this is the 4th round, probably. So all 10 players are ready. Let's get into this game. Round 4, maybe 5, between Storm Wales and I Don't Know Man of this eSports Wall hosted tournament.
So we're on the Cursed Hollow. We've seen this one quite a few times today. Collect the tributes, curse your enemies, and blow up the core.
Yeah, and like you say, we've just seen it so often that... We don't need to go into this anymore. We'll just get into it straight away. Would you like to, once it loads in, introduce I Don't Know Man, who should be in red?
I can introduce I Don't Know Man. They are in red. So we have Davo playing Johanna. We have Atomic playing the Sonya. Kirsten is bringing his Karazim here to the Hollow. Kael'thas is being played by Comac. And Yunks is playing Tyrande.
Meanwhile, on the side of Storm Wales, we have Jokel on the Malfurion, Warrior Duck, again, I love that name, on the Reyna, Henky Boy on the Tyrael, Hypathan, team captain playing the Leoric, and Boss on that Zebo. Now, Hypathan, I believe, is that the Master Leoric skin? No, it's not. His crown isn't big enough. My bad.
He's not giving you any extra gems from that crown.
This looks very, very golden. See, that's the broken crown. It's
still a broken crown.
That's
it is.
No, this crown's not broken. That's totally fixed. You get 100% increased gem rate on that crown.
You do indeed.
You played much of Season 4?
I have played a little bit. I got to Torment 50-ish, and I've sort of fallen off it there. Playing a bit more heroes with my time.
Good. Meanwhile, Bose is going to get initiated on in the background. He's going to get absolutely blown up. The damage coming out from the Kael'thas there.
Yeah, the gravity lapse catching him, and the wall just...
Yumps' Lunar Flare, I think, at the end there, just able to finish him off with the damage.
At the top, Davo is just going to hold off this fight. Johanna just not really caring about the poke that's being brought here. She's going to stay safe next to that gate.
I really think they should leave Henky Boy down here, up there in the top lane, and rotate 2 down to the bottom, because this push against the Zebos is so strong. They've already taken down a tower. And it's definitely as if they have the support, because the Tyrande, whilst she's not an officially a solo support like in the traditional sense, her heals are actually quite strong, much more so than you'd expect, especially as the game gets longer. Scale is very high.
Able to heal herself while she targets one of the others as well, so a 2-for-1 heal there. Kirsten's taking Hypathan quite low in the mid lane. He keeps beating him down and just keeping that wave pushed up to so he's able to roam if he wants to.
The Tyrande and the Sonya waiting for that 2-minute mark for the Siege Giants to spawn in bottom, and there they are, 2 minutes in. They spawn. Going to take that nice and early as they've left Comac to face up against Boss. 1v1 for a few seconds at least. Yeah,
not much going to happen down there though. A little bit of damage. Comac healing up from the fountain at the moment and just able to throw some damage out. And the Siege Giants are now coming in. I will call out Yunks. You don't put the Lunar Flare in the middle of them when you're doing Siege Giants because they don't move that much.
Yeah, you can actually hit both with the Lunar Flare no matter what siege camp it is in the game. If your positioning is perfect, you can actually hit him with hit 3 of the bruisers with the Lunar Flare, an upgraded one.
Just need to get them in the right place.
And she does right there. Happily say they actually the Sonya and the Turan moved to take the bruiser camp as this first tribute spawns. So that's going to be pushing him mid quite happily. And Komek going to be denied already by the spiders, but this siege camp's actually putting him in a good enough position to not don't have to worry about boss coming in. Although the Tyrael's Elduin's
might able to stop him from taking it, and then Nazebo throwing another spider jar into the bush that was going to stop Komek from taking it.
So we have 4 members down here in the bottom. 4 Stormwhales. Reyna's going to get picked up top to the Sonya, Tyrande and Johanna combo. And the first tribute going inside way of Stormwhales.
Yeah, so the first tribute picked up there, which is reasonably big, but they do fall behind on experience because, I don't know, man, deciding to keep people in all 3 lanes and just soaking the experience there while also getting the kill on the Reyna, and they're going to get the push onto this top tower and take that tower and the gate down.
Yes, this is really, really good rotations from the Tyrande and the Sonya coming out here. They're just getting a kill, pushing a lane, and then moving off, taking some mercenary camps, as they did already take their bruisers and obviously the siege camp. Meanwhile, Stormwolf's going to take their bruisers as well, so that's going to be okay. And High Pathan in the middle as Leoric, going to fall quite low, but able to get a very well-timed Wraith Walk off there in order to dodge the Tyrande stun, which otherwise would have hit.
Yeah, when you Wraith Walk, you do become unstoppable, but you can't Wraith Walk during a stun, so really quite strong there. Curson taking a lot of damage, but able to dash off to one of his friends, using that Radiant Dash there.
Keeping himself safe. The positioning from Atomic there was very good as well, just in range of the dash. Yet not close enough so that Curson is still in danger. Second tribute now spawning again, another one bottom. So this means the third tribute will guaranteed be top. Teams may potentially look out for that. Really phenomenal route landing on the Kael'thas here, and the zombie were going to lock him down as the Tyrael body blocks came in from the Elduin's Might. That was great positioning play there, and Kael'thas going to get picked up. This is going to leave him in a rough position. Meanwhile, Curson's still channeling his tribute and just wasn't contested at all. Tyrael taking a lot of damage, not going to fall. He's going to be able to jump, throw and go, jump himself out, and yeah, one tribute for both teams.
Really strong distraction there, threatening Henky Boy, and therefore allowing them to pick up that. And Atomic not done yet, wanting to go back into this fight.
But the Malfurion route coming down, locking him down. Really good Tyrande stun, landing on Warrior Duck and Henky Boy there. The Tyrande's really on point with her stuns here.
Yeah, definitely doing some work. They're going to take this gate and probably back away. Johanna wanting to move back towards that top lane and start to pick up some of the experience there. And Kael'thas is already back in that bottom lane. But the tribute is spawning, and is spawning top, so in the next 10 seconds there's going to be another fight.
But this is going to be really, really bad for Stormwhale, since, I don't know, man, have just hit level 10, they've got their ultimates. We're going to see Shadow Stalk coming out from Tyrande again. Yeah, and in fact, 7-sided Strike from the Karazim, so a healing ultimate from one support, and the damage ultimate from the other. Curson picking up that second tribute completely uncontested. Meanwhile, this siege camp is going to be a point of contention here as Atomic on that Sonya pops Wrath of Berserk and absolutely blows up Malfurion. Tyrael falling very low as well. He's not going to get killed, but the Phoenix zoning causing the siege camp to be safely taken. Wow, fantastically placed Lunar Flare out from Yunks, killing the Tyrael as he was trying to teleport out. And that pickup there is
really
so
big plays.
Good, yeah.
And this is going to allow them to take these 2 towers and take this gate. Warrior Duck's going to do what he can.
Showing why he's the captain, I think, there with that play.
They opt not to stick around for too long. Instead, they're going to go, and High Pathan is currently lingering around in the jungle. The Wraith walks out. They're going to look at picking up mid, and this fort that is still up here.
And interesting to note, Tyrael has picked up Sanctification.
Okay, Sanctification, so he's going to make a nice field of invulnerability for 3 seconds. What do you think?
I think against the Sonya Kael'thas Tyran burst combo, it's actually really good. The Sanctification comes out, but he's going to get picked up anyway. Now Sanctification no longer is a channel by the Tyrael, it's just a smaller area put down straight on the floor, and it saved him for a little bit, but the Tyrande arrow from... the Lunar Flare coming out from Young. On point, again on point, landing on 2. Leoric come through with a big March of the Black King, able to keep himself alive, but he's going to fall. I'm really surprised that the Zebo didn't. The Tranquility keeping him alive just about. And that's going to be a 2-0, and the curse going in favour of I don't know, man. They're going to move straight on to go take their boss.
Yeah, they're right here next to it, so they decide they're going to take their boss. It is their boss, not the enemy boss. So probably not the move we would advise, but it's going to push on anyway, and they're going to have another sort of 45 seconds
I'm fine
to
with
push
this,
with
mostly because their curse they just got was immediately next to the boss. If it was if it was the furthest point, even in the top lane away from their boss, potentially wouldn't have been as good. But the fact they
straight
had to
onto
move
the Bruiser camp though, so they've wasted a good 30 seconds of this curse from taking that boss and then taking the Bruiser camp. They've not really done much work with it.
And they scouted out with the Trondale that Storm Whales aren't actually taking their boss yet, so they're just going to move and take down the Siege Giant, take all the mercenary camps at this point, and potentially move down and try and take Storm Whales' boss as well, as the Johanna moves in and pushes this fort. Boss didn't push top lane and is taking the keep, attempting to siege onto that, but yeah, this boss is going to be falling pretty fast, especially with the Ranger's Mark upgrade at level 1 instead of the Hunter's Mark for Toronto, lowering that cooldown, making that amp damage very, very low.
So a lot of mercenaries picked up there for I don't know man. Pushing on to the base there, they're going to take this mid keep finally. Sonya coming in from the back. Nice Hyperion coming out. Big roots coming on, and the Phoenix drops down. We're going to see Gargantuan coming on, and Curson is looking like he's going to be in a bit of danger, but he's just going to walk away as a nice Lunar Flare comes out, followed by the Condemn from Johanna. We do see Kael'thas going down, but Johanna's in a bit of trouble now. Johanna falling there, so a nice pickup there for Storm Whales.
Yes, finally a fight going in their favour. The roots from Malfurion in this game. I mean, talk about Yumix's Tyrande, Lunar Flares, the stuns coming out of her. They've been phenomenal, but the Malfurion roots have just been... They've been on point as well. You can't fault either player at this point in the game.
Yeah, both supports looking on top form here.
As the boss
here we do have the seismic slams that I was talking about from Sonya. She's just alternating them with her auto attacks, and the Fury being driven up from that's fantastic. So much damage onto the keep.
Yeah, they took that fort in middle. The keep didn't take any damage down bottom though. The boss got cleaned up perfectly quickly, so that was absolutely... I think that was actually okay, despite the wall going down for the side of Storm Whales. We're going to call them Whale eSports then for a minute.
Whale eSports, that's what they're now going to be called. They don't even have a Rhaegar anymore, so they can't be Storm Wolves. we should just make them pick Rhaegar every game.
Yeah.
So they are bunching up, just hanging around in the jungle, waiting for somebody to show their face so they can look to get a pick or look to get a tribute. So the tribute's spawning in bottom, and we're probably going to see all 5 members of I Don't Know Man racing down there now. But all 5 members of Storm Whales are also on the way, scouted out by that arrow.
Doing a good job to try and recoup the experience lost by splitting, but I don't know, man. Just, moving as 5 and getting picks off as often. There's a big fight coming out. Sanctification actually saving out the Malfurion just about as Tranquility comes down, but the Sonya's just in the middle of that, doing so much damage. Her Whirlwind and Seismic Slam's coming down, doing a huge amount. Rainer's going to get picked up as well, almost immediately after the Malfurion. Leoric's not able... He's going to be able to Wraithwalk himself away, just about surviving from that, but he's going to walk into the Sonya and the Johanna. He's in a bit of a rough spot. He needs to get out. I don't know if he'll be able to.
It's being ignored now. Fantastic play by I Don't Know Man there, though. What they actually did with the Malfurion is they saw the Divine Palm going on him as he was really low, so Sonya stopped her auto attack, instead choosing to attack someone else near, waited for that Divine Palm to expire, and then instantly Seismic Slam to kill him. So fantastic play around the heroic there, as if that Malfurion had gone down, he would have just healed straight back up, and that could have been a very different fight.
Now, a little bit of chat banter there, the Leoric with the shocked face that he wasn't picked up there, and the other team confused. Leoric telling me to shush. I was so close. That was quite entertaining. And more mercenaries being taken on Cursed Hollow as it goes.
I do like their mercenaries.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
Playing very objectively there. They're just moving from point to point, They know what they want. They go in, they take it, and that's that. 1638 hard. I have no idea what that means, but bruises.
What do I?
Taken for saying it in all
it's a
chat.
timer for the
respawns.
Yeah, so these guys are timing them camps. Something that you don't see a lot of players outside of the pro scene doing. It is something very worth doing.
You can mark all those timers. This tribute spawning in top is not important for either team, and I think I actually would have preferred to see, I don't know, man, split pushing with this, but this fight's happening and Tyrell's going to get picked up almost immediately. The Hyperion coming down from the Reyna, but the Phoenix covering just so much of the fights for so long. The Tranquility coming out from the Malfurion doing all the healing it needs to, keeping everybody alive, but Malfurion is going to end up getting picked up by the Gravity Lapse and the Ancient Spear, the Seismic Slam. Sonya doing so much work here, and Atomic going to get chunked down a little bit by the Reyna. But there's going to be a 5th tribute for...
I don't know, man. Definitely looking like they're in the driving seat now. They're 2 levels ahead of the Storm Whales there, and that's going to lead them to that level 20 just that little bit earlier.
Now, something I'd like to note is Tehran's actually done more healing than the Malfurion, and is behind the Karazin, but Karazin's just been able to tank bosses and just heal himself through creep waves and things like that. So it's kind of inflated healing artificially, but Tehran, like I said, it's done more healing than Malfurion. It's done a good chunk of damage as well. And as we actually get a bit of an engagement happening here, Warrior Duck taking so much damage from the Sonya, Atomic gaining all that life there, Sanctification coming out from Tyrael there, keeping everyone alive, High Path, and doing what he can, chasing out Atomic on that Sonya. Meanwhile, Davo on the Johanna gonna solo up the Reyna. Malfurion's getting taken down as well by the Kael'thas there. Coming down, Sonya did eventually get picked up, but that was a 3-for-1.
And Yump's going to be left now to pick up that final tribute and pick up the curse. So Storm Whale's going to be cursed at the end of this. They have lost 3 members, whereas I Don't Know Man have only lost the 1. So they're going to be able to do a lot of work, but instead opting to take this boss, which is nearly down as this curse starts. I mean, they're probably going to be able to push with it and do a lot of damage, or alternatively be able to split into another lane. So Johanna is trying to take the wall down in that mid lane at the moment.
And before that whole fight happened, the boss for the side of I Don't Know Man was taken, and it did actually take the top keep. So really advantageous fight overall. And a big 7-side strike come down here, almost actually killing High Pathan there on the Leoric. He was very well positioned to only land on him. Kirsten doing a lot of work there. And level 20 now reached. 11-sided strike, in fact, on the Karazin. Tyrael taking some damage. The chain bomb spreading from the Kael'thas, doing a lot of work, but the Hyperion comes down to cover this fight. Davo taking a huge amount of damage on Johanna. She has indestructible, so she won't die even if she does fall to fatal damage.
That Shadow Stalk also doing a lot of healing on her, able to keep her up through her own trait. So the Shadow Stalk was popped nice and early there by Betarande. Wait.
Yeah, definitely so. And the boss can get cleaned up, did 1% damage to the core, so, every little helps. No mule. So just 100 more bosses, and that will be... Sorry, 99 more bosses.
Yeah, got 99 bosses, but the core ain't dead. That would be a worrying game. Maybe. So moving back to subjective-based playstyle, I Don't Know Man are taking the mercenaries. They have picked up their sieges, picked up their bruisers, and now they're looking to push towards this middle. And
potentially
maybe
take Storm Whale's bruisers.
Yeah, yep, that's exactly where they're going, straight towards Storm Whale's bruisers.
So they've got this 2 bruiser camp push happening in the mid lane now. I Don't Know Man looking really strong here. All 3 keeps are down. There's only the core to go, and the shields aren't fully recovered on that after that 1% boss damage. But a really good impassable terrain from the Tyrael there, blocking that out. Plus the Zebo zombie wall, stalling out this push as much as possible. All ultimates are now up for...
a big 11-sided strike there.
Wow, I mean, the Tyrael just got blown up, didn't he? And the Kael'thas taking a lot of damage and managed to Arcane Barrier himself back up. And the Leoric trying to do work. March the Black King was really good, went through the fight, but he gets picked up. Meanwhile, the Tyrande stun, Yunks on that, doing so much work. He's on point the whole game. GG, well played. To I Don't Know Man picking up this victory versus Storm Wales. Reyna, Warrior Duck on that Reyna, trying to do what he can, but going to get gravity lapsed, and that will be GG.
Yeah, so good play there from I Don't Know Man, consistently moving around the map, picking up.
Got blown up so quickly there. I barely had time to even mention it. That 11-sided strike just doing everything it needed to there.
A fantastic play.